All right, so I'm cutting this thing right now, and what I've done is I've just kind of clamped this piece here, and we got to cut our strip, and it's going to take quite some time. I need to find my other clamp actually, so that I can be sure that this thing does not move on me. I had some better clamps, but I don't know what to do with them anyway. I'm about halfway through it anyway. I'm not going to keep filming all that. I'll bring it back in a second. The biggest problem with it, is trying to keep it straight, you know. But I'm gonna have to file. The more it's crooked, you know, the more I'm gonna have to file it and whatnot. So, but I'm getting close. I really want to get like a saw that will be able to cut this, but I was looking at chop saws, and this is kind of a long piece, so I don't think it's going to be worth it right now. All right, so it's kind of a pain in the ass and time consuming with this, but we've got the piece cut off here. And then I'll just go over to the grinder and have to make sure to get it, you know, perfect. But this is what we're looking at. This is enough to make one machine, probably in its entirety, because I'll have the bottom piece, and then I'll cut a couple pieces off, and then I'll weld up another piece here and drill that out for the vise. So this should be enough. Thanks for watching so far, and compile more later. I'm going to do some filing on this before I even try and do anything, so I don't get myself cut. Let's get this nasty edge off of here. Still pretty warm. Yeah, when you cut this stuff, it'll be really sharp. So, right there. There's our stock. Hopefully it's not crooked. Might be a little bit. Still pretty warm. I don't want to dunk it in water or do anything. You heat things up and then dunk it in water too fast and it'll make it brittle. You need to temper it. I don't want no temper. Because actually, what we can do with this is we could notch it in the places that it needs to be notched with a grinder and then heat it up with a torch. We get two ways of doing this. We can do that, or we can actually cut the pieces, weld them all together, because we're going to have to weld the side of the machine on it anyway. So, I need one of these fancy belt sanders. I don't expect this to be perfect. This is going to be my first tattoo machine, minus making a whole shitload of prison ones. I've built a few. I have never made one from scratch. I'd like to wind my own coils too if I can. I just need to figure out a good price on wire. We'll go from there. This is actually a really good file for this. So, let me see here. Now, I'm using thicker stuff than you would normally use because I don't like light machines. But I totally could have used some thinner stuff. Now, I believe you can buy bar stock like this size and save yourself a whole ton of trouble. Anyway, so we're going to have to mark this out. And we'll make it into it. It's going to be a bulldog, basically. Mark this out, and then we'll just have to bend it and all that good stuff. So, it's not completely even, so I'm not sure 100% what I'm going to do to get it exactly how I want it. So, we'll just take my time doing this, and I've still got to get a drill press before I can do anything. Thanks for watching. All right, we're back. Okay, so now I got the camera in the correct orientation. Let's get the flash on here, and got my coffee here. It's about 1:50 in the morning, and I can't do any more crazy stuff. So we got the frame, and basically I ended up welding it in the wrong spot first, and it's also not probably completely straight. So we got it welded here. Man, God, I don't know why. It's like this camera. So we welded it and it blew out around the corner. So this other one actually didn't do that, but I think I'm just gonna, I'll probably just leave the welds there. Gives it character. Maybe I'll touch it up back there and get that off of there, and then get like this a little bit better. But what we need to find out is if it's square enough to use, and we'll go from there. So it's certainly not as easy as it looks when you see other people building them. And I've built lots of things in my life. So we got our machine that we're kind of copying. Completely flat. So there's not quite the there seems to be like a rake on most machines, and this one might be a little too forward. I think that either way we could probably finagle the metal and make it bend. So another option is it can be this way, and then so I'm just kind of judging it off of this to see. That's kind of like, to me, looks a little much too kicked up. So I think what we'll do, we'll go with this right here, and then we'll cut this off there, and we'll cut this off there, and then we'll put a piece on there, and then drill some holes and get the coils and all that stuff mounted on it, and see what that looks like. And then we still got to make the side piece, so there's a lot to do still, but we're getting there. I mean, I just did this all in like a matter of a couple of hours, so I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, it's I don't know, looks like it ramps back. I've always thought they do. There's another one. Yeah, it does. It's got like a kick. So anyway, so I decided to clean it up completely for the most part, and just get all the stuff in there. The goal here is it needs to be strong, and also you don't want too much extra metal in the way. So I can clean this up a lot more. This is just the limits of what I can do on the rough grinder. So, but Yeah, I think it was probably worth doing it like that. Now I can add that kick out to here by just kind of bending this. It'll bend somewhere over there. I'll get it to where I want it. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do. All right, so now we've got it cut down like this. It looks a little funky. Like, it looks really crooked, but I don't know if it actually is. It was just I just didn't cut it straight. So, at any rate, I'll know when I get it all done, and then I can take it apart and beat on it with a hammer. This stuff's fairly soft. We can convince it to go to one direction or another. And if I have to, you know, I can grind it down to where it's a certain way, or add metal to it and then grind it down. So, and I think, I'm not sure if we'll use this piece or not for the side plate. I think I might go with something a little thinner, like maybe some of this stuff, or maybe like this piece here. I don't know. I've got a lot of this stuff laying around, but I could use this. It should be enough. I gotta use this to go down here. We'll double this up down there just for right here, and weld it up, grind it up, and drill a hole in it. It's gonna be a real pain in the ass. So, and that's where we're at. So now we're gonna put this piece here I got laying around. We're gonna weld it. It's slightly smaller, so it'll be perfect. We'll weld all the way around it, and then we'll grind it down. It's cool. Should be good. So this is pretty much where I'm at on this. I'm done for now, but I've got this far. Should be nice and thick. I'm gonna cut a piece of some other stuff tomorrow to get the vise about as thick as one of these or thicker. So I didn't use the right size metal. I'm not 100% sure the position I'm going to put this in, but this is going to be a liner, so it doesn't need to be too forward. So just want it above the coils. So I think it might be a little bit too long, so we'll finish up on some other stuff tomorrow, and I gotta get a drill and tap set because I don't think I have one for the stuff I need.